And get ready for some football. Dun, dun, dun. All right, that was me just being an idiot. All right, you ready, Mano?
That's gonna
I'm ready,
stand.
man.
All right,
I'm ready.
here we go. And welcome back to the capsON Sports Podcast. This is your co-host of the week, Nick Tobias, joined by my other co-host, Anthony Mano. Anthony, how we doing over here at the top?
It's good. It's nice to be at the winner's table.
Yeah, it is nice to be at the winner's table. We made a little thing. Well, technically, I made the rule that whoever comes in first with your
I feel
picks
like this was more of like a hijacking,
It was
but that's fine with me because it's
It-
been fun.
it was absolutely a hijacking. Whoever comes in first with their previous week picks gets to host the podcast. And Man and I came in at a shabby 2-3, but it couldn't be worse than 1-4. I mean, it could be. You could be 0-5, but we're back. Week 2 NFL after a crazy week 1. Especially started with the Thursday game with Tampa Bay, and the Monday night game was crazy too with Las Vegas and Baltimore. I'm excited for this week. We're gonna run down every single game of the week, especially the ones we're gonna hit on our specific picks for the week. And like Stick always mentions, we keep track of it. So we try to keep it updated throughout the year. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Listen to this anytime you want on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. I like to plug in early because I know the boys and girls are listening out there. All right. So the first game we're going to talk about, Sam has a pick on this. We're going Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Spread is Buffalo -3, and the team total is at a measly 47.5 for a high-powered offense like Buffalo. Sam, which way you going?
I know they looked like shit in the last couple quarters on Sunday, but I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills at -3.5. I mean, just looking at the talent on both sides, Buffalo is a lot stronger. I think their defense is just as talented as Miami, and Buffalo they lost not because really their defense played very well against a rather not great Pittsburgh offense, but I mean, Miami, I think it's in the same boat, not really a strong offensive team. And just all the offensive weapons in Buffalo, I think they have a big bounce back week here and show like, hey, we're the beasts of the AFC East. So I know it's only week 2, but like they kind of want to make a statement like, hey, like let's not forget we won 13 games last year. So I see a big bounce back game for Josh Allen and them. So let's go with Buffalo -3.5.
Yeah, I mean, I think Buffalo -3.5 at home is good value. Any you guys have any input? Stick, Mano, anything quick?
I mean, this was my next pick out, so I took my 5, and then I don't know. Honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't realize the home team was in column C and the away team was in column D. I thought it was flipped this entire time. So
yeah, so did I actually.
Yeah.
So I just feel even better actually about the pick.
I made the spreadsheet too, so this is good. I guess at home I like it then. I was assuming they're on the road, but they're not. So yeah.
Pardon.
Wow,
Okay.
Payne.
Sorry,
I really feel like I want to take this pick now.
No, it is you have mislabeled.
Yeah, you 100% have them mislabeled.
I didn't mislabel. I actually miscopy and pasted. So whoever was the source, which I don't remember.
Okay, so you're getting Buffalo -3.5 on the road. I mean, I'm still okay with the value.
Yeah, no, I still like it. Like I did it as if they were on the road. So.
Wait, so it's correct. The order is correct. The
order is correct. It was just the column.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense more to really team A at team B or column C at column D. So
yeah, that's normally how I read it. That's why soccer freaks me out. But
all right.
No
this is not a soccer podcast. We're on a football podcast. Come on, I got to keep the train rolling here.
Right. Some people call football soccer. And
okay,
this soccer is football. So this is
American
makes
football.
more sense for soccer.
I'm just trying to clarify. You're right.
Let me know when you guys are done, because
football.
All right. So next we're gonna go with we got 2 picks on this. One for me, one for Mano. We got Cincinnati at Chicago. Chicago favored -3 and over under for the total at 45. Looks like Chicago is going to start Andy Dalton again. Cincinnati looked good their first week. Man, which way you rocking in this one?
It's a Red Rocket revenge game, man. It's I'm taking. I got to take Chicago. Listen, It's not that Cincinnati wasn't impressive last week over their win over Minnesota in overtime, because they absolutely were. The offense looked like it clicked. It looked like, this was the Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor combination that we were promised when they brought him onto coach and Burrow onto quarterback. But I mean, I'm looking at the lines like across the entire thing. Like it seems like a lot of overreactionary lines based on week one, and that's kind of what they want, I would suppose. So I got to take Chicago here. They're just a better team, and they're going to give 3 points. They're laying 3 points on the road, so I like that. Or at home. Whoa.
Yeah,
Chicago -3.
The same reason you don't like Cincinnati is kind of why I like Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati's youth. It looks like Joe Burrows was very comfortable in the pocket, which plays a huge factor, especially because his offensive line isn't that good. Jamar Chase didn't drop a ball. T. Higgins is kind of a stud. Joe Mixon's good, and their defense is whatever. But this is me just going against Andy Dalton playing at least half the football game and not believing any second of that offense. Their defense wasn't really that good either. And to be honest with you, I kind of look at Cincinnati as like a younger version of the Los Angeles Rams and the kind of weapons they have. And they got high flyers. Come on, you're looking at me, Sammy T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. Granted, Joe Mixon gets hurt a lot, but when he doesn't, he's great. Everyone knows that for fantasy. But I'm gonna go with Cincinnati +3 on the road here. Sam, stick, nothing.
I would agree with the Cincinnati side, but I don't have the balls to just take it within a field goal on the road. Chicago plays well at home. It's freaking me out. I don't like it.
I mean, I guess buying a half a point would be smart here.
Not even that. I don't trust the Bengals on the road in Chicago, regardless.
All right. So next game, we're gonna go. We're going to the Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I honestly think the Jaguars are on the road, so I'm gonna have to.
They're not. They're home.
They are. I got it. They
the
are.
Spreadsheet
home.
is correct. We don't have to check anything. The only things that were
okay. Okay, that's my fault. That's my apologies. Okay, so we got Denver at Jacksonville. Denver -6 over under 45.5. Of course, the only person who has a pick on a Jaguars game is your boy. Bet on it last week. Bet against the Jaguars and it cashed out for me. This week, I am betting on the Jaguars. Give me +6 at home this week. The Jaguars offense actually looked pretty decent last week. Granted, how bad Houston is. But I believe in this young football team, and I think you give T-Law 6 at home. Sure. Give me some Jacksonville. How stupid do you guys think I am?
I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, you like Jacksonville?
Not enough to put them in one of my picks, but yeah, I can see Jacksonville keeping this game close. It's just a matter of if they can play defense, because we saw with our own eyes on Sunday that the Broncos can move the football.
Teddy Bridgewater looked like Peyton Manning against the Giants on Sunday. I don't know if that's more of a boost for Teddy Bridgewater or that the Giants defense is just not there yet.
I hope it's a boost for Teddy. We'll
so
find out tonight.
I picked him up on the waiver wire, got him starting this week as a super flex,
Teddy's a solid quarterback. I mean, he always has been. He's always been a bridge quarterback, but those guys have Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a good one.
But what I mean? He's always been a middle tier quarterback. He's going to get the job done some days, and some days he won't. Against Jacksonville, he'll probably look like Mike Vick again.
Interesting. All right. Well, the next game that we have on the slate that nobody has a pick on, we got Houston at Cleveland. Cleveland -12.5. Pretty big spread for Cleveland. They kept a pretty close game last week against KC. And total set at 48. Nobody's got a pick. Does anybody want to comment or?
I had Cleveland down before. I took it off and subbed it in for something else. So we'll get to later. But I kind of got scared out because Houston did look better than anticipated. Granted, it was the Jaguars. And Cleveland theoretically should beat them by 30, but I don't know. It's a lot of points.
No OBJ for Cleveland for what that matters, but I really don't think
that's the end of the world.
We're going to run the ball down their throat regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did anybody else
Cleveland's is gonna I think own possession in this game. If they can keep the ball 40-something minutes, I think, and then just
Mano.
I'm not drinking the Browns Kool-Aid yet, but 12.5 is a little steep for my pockets.
I'm going to say this game ends with the Browns score having a 3 in front of it and the Texans having a 1 in front of it. So that should tell you I want to lean towards the Browns.
31-19.
Yeah, unless it's 30-19, 31-19, then we got an issue. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take this. I was going to take Houston 12.5 because this game screams sneaky backdoor cover at the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter where Ty God just throws a touchdown to keep it within 10 points.
They're down 21 and they're just trying whatever the fuck works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Some schoolyard bullshit.
So next game we got on the slate, one of the other 1 o'clock games, Las Vegas, a steaming hot Las Vegas after a crucial big time showtime Monday night win. Las Vegas Raiders at the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh -5.5, total set at 47. Okay, we got 3 picks on this game. Me, Sam, and Mano. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Oh.
I was waiting for someone. I'm like, all right.
Sammy, go ahead.
But so I'm not maybe not like totally bought in, but I'm getting close to buying in on these Raiders team. They looked very good, especially with that front 4 was able to get to Lamar Jackson very easily, it seemed, on Monday night. And the offense looked solid. I mean, Derek Carr missed some throws, but at the end of the day, they won the game against a good Baltimore Ravens team. And the big thing, I think, is the Vegas defense looked a lot better than anticipated, and against a very good Baltimore offense. I know they're hurt at the running back position, but it's still Lamar Jackson. He's Showtime. He's great, and he didn't look great for the most part. And then Pittsburgh's offense is, I'm saying it every episode we've done, they're not good. And I'm going to take Vegas. I think 5.5 is a lot of points to be giving this Raiders team, especially at an overvalued Pittsburgh team.
All right, Mano.
I'm not buying the Vegas hype either. A home victory for them, which was obviously a big time win. They wanted to lose that game. And if they lost that game, I think this is like an 8.5 point line, to be completely honest with you. I think it's a lot of buy-in on what Vegas did to a pretty banged up Ravens team. So they win that game. They got to fly across the country. I'm big time on those cross country flights. I think they are underrated. Especially when you got to come in and play Pittsburgh. Like it's no cakewalk when TJ Watt is lining up against your offensive lineman. I liked what I saw from the Raiders. I think Pittsburgh is going to do enough to pull out this game. I think it's a 10 point Pittsburgh victory.
Wow. All right, we got 1 on Pittsburgh, 1 on Las Vegas. I get to break the tie, and you already know I'm riding with Derek Carr. If you haven't seen his post-game speech after the Monday night win, please go and watch it. I think that was just absolutely fantastic. And I've heard nothing but good things about Derek Carr from the front office, from head coach John Gruden, and from his teammates. The fan base is one thing, but the people who actually play with him and who spend every day with him, mean a little bit more than some guy sitting on his couch and working 9 to 5. Now, they were trending to lose the game last week, to say the least. But what matters is they didn't lose the game. They played.
Should have lost it twice.
They made the plays when they had to make the plays. What they should have lost, but the Ravens couldn't capitalize. And granted, the Ravens don't have, their number ones out there, their second string or third string running back. But still, you saw Tyson Williams kind of rip that defense apart a little bit. And I think the Baltimore Ravens had every opportunity to win that game. They didn't. The Raiders are hot. I think the Raiders are going to be a great team this year, who are going to be I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. They're going to be a very average record team. I think it'd be very tough to beat. The defense of Pittsburgh does concern me, but I just think their Pittsburgh offense can't keep up with Las Vegas's offense, especially if it gets a little warm. So I'm going to go with Vegas on the road plus 5.5. Stick, do you want to say anything or?
No, I still don't know what to make of either of these teams, honestly.
Fair enough.
Pittsburgh, I have a little sour taste in my mouth from the end of last year, and then the Raiders are always up and down, so they got to prove themselves. So
All right,
Yeah,
so
sure.
we'll go to the next 1 o'clock game. No one's taking anything. New England at the New York Jets. New England minus 5.5 at on the road. I'm sorry. Total set to 43. Quick notes before we got no picks on this.
I
If
would
the
hammer
Jets-
the Patriots if I had to make a pick on it, but
Mm.
I'm not. So I
That's
mean,
the
two
only
rookie
reason I'm not doing it.
quarterbacks, anything can happen. It could be
Yeah.
a shit show. But New England didn't look all that impressive after Mac Jones hype. He looked fine. He looked like a rookie quarterback, but
Zach
Right.
Wilson
how he
looked
goes
pretty
on.
solid in that second half against Carolina.
Mhm.
I think
Well, he
I
should-
could see the Jets covering here at home, but again, I don't want to put anything on this game. I could see going
It's
a lot of different ways.
it's the New York Jets. It's hard to touch when it's the New York Jets. I get it.
Mm.
All right, so next game we got 2 picks on. We got the New Orleans Saints.
You did miss a game, by the way. Just
Mhm.
Oh, I did. You're right. I did. We'll go to that one first. Good call. We're gonna do the the Los Angeles Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. Los Angeles Rams is favored by 4 points, -4. Total set to 47.5. 2 picks. Mano and I. Mano, you want the floor?
No, all you, bro.
All right. Let me make this quite simple to you. Los Angeles' offense is very good, and their defense is very good, and Indianapolis doesn't have a secondary. I'm just going to be honest with you, and they're going to get they are going to get torched. It's going to be a flamethrower. Matt Stafford is going to be an MVP candidate if he isn't already. Give me Los Angeles -4. I don't know why this line is so weird. That's the only thing that makes me nervous. Why is this line not like 6.5? I just don't think Indy can keep up at all. So go ahead, Mano.
The injury report for the Colts is a little it's a little deep, if you will.
It's suspect.
Darius Leonard didn't practice, ankle and an illness. Quentin Nelson didn't practice, foot in the back. Xavier Rhodes didn't practice, calf injury. Braden Smith, foot injury, didn't practice. I don't know if he starts or not. Eric Fisher, Achilles, limited. Al Qadim Muhammad, full practice today. Kwity Paye did not practice. Jack Doyle did not practice. It's a long list. There's not a lot of guys, but like the impact guys you're looking at the top there, Darius Leonard, Xavier Rhodes, Quentin Nelson, Eric Fisher, those guys didn't practice. I would expect the Rams to kind of wreak havoc here. The fact that it's only four -4 is a little scary to me, but I think the general consensus on the Colts are a little higher than I am.
Stick, Sammy, quick notes.
I like the Rams a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
The Colts are just another one of those teams where I don't know who they are, and we're not going to know for a little bit because they have a new quarterback situation. They have a loaded backfield, but kind of a weak-ish wide receiver core and an average defense. So I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be a matter of them whether they step up or whether they don't step up. So
Sammy.
Yeah. Coming into the season, like I was very big on the Colts defense, especially, but I mean, I think their front seven's fine. It's their secondary is, I mean, if they can't get to Russell Wilson, which was the big thing, I mean, he torched them. So this is also classic early season Russell Wilson. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I won't hit the panic button quite yet on the Colts. Yeah, I want to steer clear of this game, but I think with the injury report for Indianapolis, if some guys go from questionable to out, this line's going to move from 4 to maybe around a touchdown. So
Yeah. All right. So next game that I jumped to on accident because this is my first time hosting. Stick looking at me makes me very nervous. It gives me butterfly. Stick. I'm
who
not
am I
gonna
supposed to
lie.
look at? The person talking.
Yeah, I just want to give you a quick shout out. I give you a little credit for doing this. It definitely isn't easy, but you've probably done it at least 20
Doing
times.
what? Taking a back seat?
Being the host.
I don't care.
You've done it a long. No, I'm just saying you've done it a long time, so you're more
sounds
experienced
like
than
a
I am.
care.
Okay.
Doesn't make a
Anyway,
difference.
all right. Next game.
I just don't have a pick
Sammy's
until right now.
New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Saints are favored -3.5 on the road. Total set at 44. 2 picks on this game. Sammy and I. Sam, I'll let you talk about your New Orleans Saints, who seem to have a COVID problem.
It's actually not my pick, but
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Stick's pick. Stick, you like the COVID Saints?
Yeah. I didn't like them last week, and we saw what they did. So now I'm kind of like wary of like the Jameis Winston Saints. He's going into a familiar place. He's played division games there for a couple years now. I don't know. I just feel like the Panthers aren't that good. They're good, but they're not that good. And the Saints are going to come in here and cover a fairly small number. I also like the over here. I think it's going to be like a 34 45 something. What is Jameis MVP? Is that what that said?
Of course it does.
I just
You
feel like
already know.
it's going over 44 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm taking Carolina. I have them +4, but I'm going to take them +3.5 if that's what it takes.
Yeah, this was a line you made up.
This is not a line. This is a line that I bought. This is a line that I bought on Tuesday or on Monday when it came out. So I'm taking Carolina for a couple different reasons. This is before the COVID hit the New Orleans Saints. The only reason I think the only thing the Saints, I think they're going to come back to reality. I think last week, Jameis Winston kind of showed out. You don't really see Aaron Rodgers throwing 2 picks and only throwing for 100 yards and then getting benched. You don't see that happening ever. That's his worst game of his career. You're never going to see it happening again. I think Jameis Winston had arguably one of the best games of his career. He threw 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's pretty good. I like Carolina in this spot as a little bit of an upset. Sam Darnold, I think he had a game to kind of get his feet underneath him. Joe Brady calls a good offense, and Christian McCaffrey is a stud. I guess the only thing that kind of worries me is the Saints defense did play very well in the last game, and I just don't think they're that good in general. But I'm going to go with Carolina +3.5. I do love the over. I don't know why it's so low. It's a little suspect that it's only 44. Because I think Carolina can easily put up 21, and I think New Orleans can easily put up 30. I mean, but that's just
then why are you on Carolina +4 if you think that's going to be the score? It doesn't make sense.
It makes complete sense because you know where it needs to make sense up here. It doesn't need to make sense over there.
Because you got 4 points. I only have 3.5.
I'm taking them +3.5. Sammy, Mano, am I stupid?
I mean, I'm not really with you guys on the whole it's going to fly over thing because the Panthers scored what? Like 17 something.
They scored 19 points.
19 against the Jets.
Not bad.
And the Saints, granted, Rodgers didn't look good, but they scored 3 points against what's supposed to be a very, very good offense in Green Bay. So, I mean, New Orleans is coming into the season. They weren't going to win games based off, scoring 35 a game. They're going to win games because they have a very solid defense. So, honestly, I think it stays under, if anything. But
Mano,
I love me some Jameis Winston. So. 5 more touchdowns maybe this weekend?
Mano, nothing.
Nice.
Are you asking me? No, I have no thoughts. Sam, I mean, Sam, the Saints are going to make Sam Darnold look like a child.
Okay.
He still is a child.
All right, we're gonna go to the last 1 o'clock game here. We got San Fran, the 49ers, on the road against the NFC's #1 team, the Philadelphia Eagles. San Fran's favored -3.5. Over under is set at 50. We got 2 boys on this game. Gentlemen, point me in the right direction.
Stick, I think you and I are going to have the same kind of general consensus here. It's a lot of overreaction for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think Jalen Hurts had a good game. Like, he had a really good game, but they didn't ask him to do anything exceptional. He threw a lot of screens. He threw a lot of.
They were playing the Falcons too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think it's a big overreaction spot, and they could be really good this year. I mean, I thought they had the worst roster in football, right? And then they show up and shit on the Falcons, and they still might have the worst roster in football, but I think the Niners are going to do more to expose them than what the Falcons did.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think the Niners are a better coached team. And more experience. Their defense is second to none. I feel like it's going to be probably close in the beginning, and then I think San Fran's going to pull away. So,
Sam, you want to make any comments, or because the only reason I'll tell you the only reason I'm not touching this game is because I want to take Philadelphia +3.5. That is the reason I'm not touching this game.
Jalen Hurts looks real good.
He looks very good, and honestly, I didn't think very highly of him up until last week, and then I'm like, okay, granted, okay, now we talk smack about some defenses. Yes, Atlanta doesn't have that good of a defense, but still an NFL defense. It's a college defense. It's not a high school defense. It's an NFL defense. And he looked pretty good. So, Sammy, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little scared of this game because, I mean, obviously Hurts looked very good, and the Niners looked very bad in the last 2.5 minutes against Detroit, but overall, I mean, I did not expect that team to put up 41 points in any game this season, let alone – I know it's Detroit and they have a good defense, but I don't know. I can see going over, but yeah, this is – I don't really know much Or I don't really have an opinion on either of these teams yet.
It's a tough game.
I want to see
Tough
some
game.
more.
See, that's why we're being smart and laying off of it. It's a tough game. Okay, so to the first 4:00 game we go. Tied with the largest spread of the week. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay at home favorited -12.5. Over under set for 52. Of course, the Sam Meehan is on this game. Sammy, show me the way.
Tampa -12.5. And I know it's a lot of points, but it's defending Super Bowl champions over a terrible Falcons team. This is a team that could not stop the pass rush from Philadelphia, who granted a solid pass rush, but the front seven for the Bucs is pretty good if you haven't been paying attention. So I think Tampa could hit the over by themselves. So yeah, I don't really want to overthink this. They could win this game by 30 points.
Yeah, I mean,
they dropped 52.
Tom Brady's already
shocked.
throwing shade at the Falcons.
I just think this is going to be a great game. For some reason, I think this is going to be a very good game. I don't know why. I'm kind of believing in Matt Ryan, just saying, you know what, let's start slinging it because I'm playing TB12. He's going to cook me. Dick, Mano, nothing.
Dude, anybody in the Bucs linebacking core can cover Kyle Pitts at least good enough. Maybe not anybody, but they have very solid linebackers. Really, I feel like is going to get free for a couple, maybe like 1 or 2 tutties and 100 yards. But this is going to be a total blowout game.
I mean, I could see the Falcons actually like getting some points up, but Tampa's just gonna. I don't see them being stopped at all.
It could be like 45-21, 45-25, like around. I don't even know.
It could be 45-31. That's still a cover. Like
it's true. They're not.
Falcons could light up the scoreboard, but I would love that game. Like it's 45-31, little shootout. But
all right, so we
the
got
Bucs gonna murder them.
Next 4:00 game. We got 2 picks on them. 2 of the fellows. We got the Minnesota Vikings on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona home favorites -4.5. The team total, or I'm sorry, the game total set at 51. The 2 fellows who have a pick on this, what do you guys think?
Well, for the same reason, I think that we were both on San Francisco. Well, I guess not on Philly. I think we're going to be on opposite spectrums here. I mean, Minnesota got embarrassed, right? Like plain and simple. I don't know if they were overlooking, Cincinnati or just didn't have a good game plan for them. But I'm still a believer in Minnesota's defense, even though they kind of got picked apart. I think they're one of the better defenses in the league and have a really good defensive coach. I don't think he's going to come out and get embarrassed, especially watching what Kyler Murray just did to Tennessee. Like Tennessee doesn't have a good defense, like period. Minnesota is in a whole different dimension on the defensive side of the ball than Tennessee is, despite getting picked apart by Cincinnati. I don't think Kyler Murray can do what he did to Tennessee to Minnesota. And I'm assuming, Stick, you think they can.
Stick, change my mind.
That would be why I'm picking Arizona here, which, by the way, since Nick wants to buy some points, when I made the spreadsheet, it was Arizona -4.5. It's now -3.5. So the line moved in my favor on this one.
People are dumb.
Look, I just feel
I don't know,
like
man. Fading the public.
Arizona being home, Minnesota having a practically non-existent secondary against exactly what Arizona wants to do and what they did last week against Tennessee. Man, your point was spot on. I feel like Minnesota's defense is miles above Tennessee's defense. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like if you take the results from week 1, you have a close game, close loss to Cincinnati. Then you have the other side of the spectrum where the Cardinals beat the Titans in a blowout. I don't think if you hold all else equal that it's going to be a blowout for the Cardinals, but I feel like they're going to cover, maybe win by a touchdown or so. I think that's fair.
All right, so we're going to hop to the next game. We got 1 pick on the next game. Dude, this I was going to put down instead of the Jacksonville game. This is one of my first ones out. We got Dallas Cowboys on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles favored -3 at home, over under set at 55. Stick's the only one that's got a pick on this. Stick. I don't like this.
Yeah. All right. So I picked the Chargers last week. It was actually my only winning pick. And now I'm just totally betraying them.
Wow.
And I'm leaving them at home against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I liked what I saw out of that Cowboys offense last week against a good Tampa D that we were just talking about a couple games ago. The Chargers have the tendency to be up and down. They looked good against a good Washington defense, but they didn't blow them out. They didn't really break through. They just kind of did enough to win the game. I just think Dallas is more explosive than the Chargers are going to be. It's up to the Chargers to play good defense, and I feel like that's really the only way they can neutralize the Cowboys, because the Cowboys are going to play probably average to below average defense, but it's I expect this to go back and forth, and I think the Cowboys are good as taking a field goal on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish I took this now, because the more you talk about it, the more I love the Chargers. Dallas has lost a lot of defensive players. They just lost to Marcus Lawrence. You mentioned Lyle Collins on the offensive line is suspended 5 games. I don't know. I mean, Los Angeles' defense is pretty good and their offense is pretty good. And I think this is going to be a high-flying game. And I'm going to take the Chargers at home, especially if they're wearing their baby blue uniforms. I'm going to go crazy if they're wearing the baby blue uniforms, because those are some clean jerseys. I think last week was the Chargers' first week, or Herbert's first week, kind of getting into a groove of his new head coach's offense. Give him this week to explode for me. You guys got anything? Sammy?
No, I'm with you. I like the Chargers here. I think the game plan is a little different for Dallas than it was for Washington. If you're playing Washington, you want to avoid, big hits. You want to avoid, that front four, and what you do is short passes. And that's not really, Justin Herbert can do it, but that's not really his game. I think with the Cowboys, you want to try to take the top off. That secondary isn't anything special. And those linebackers are tacklers. They're not cover guys. Although Jalen Smith is pretty good in coverage, but Micah Parsons got picked apart a little bit. Leighton Vander Esch has been getting picked apart for like the 6 years he's been in the league. Unless you run it up the gut, then he's always there. So I think the Chargers are going to look to explode a little bit if they go for explosive plays. I think this is a pretty easy win for the Chargers.
Sammy, quick.
Over.
Love it.
Points.
All right. So we're going to hit the last 4:25 game on Sunday, NFL Week 2. We got Tennessee at the Seattle Rams. One pick on this game.
Whoa.
What was that? The Seattle what?
Whoa.
The Tennessee Titans at the Seattle Seahawks. Sammy, you're on this game. Spread is set at Seattle at home -5.5. Over under is 54. Sam.
I know what happened on Sunday against the Cardinals. I don't want to. That's not who Tennessee is. I think that was really just they didn't show up. Simple as that. That's not going to happen again this week. Seattle, yes, they're strong offensively, and get that early season Russell Wilson, where probably be MVP front runner until about week 7 or 8, before they lose 4 to 5 games. But that's not important here. But okay.
At least you're being honest.
The Titans are. I don't really see the Seahawks having anybody like Chandler Jones is going to wreak havoc in the backfield all day. The Titans offense is going to show up again this week. Obviously, they're not very strong defensively. Seattle should still win this game, but be 5.5 and by a half point, make it 6. I'll take the Titans within a touchdown here. I think they can keep it close. They kind of, they know what happened last week. They got embarrassed, and they're not going to let that happen again. So I see it as a close contest.
Anything from the gang?
I don't want any part of this game.
You don't like what, Stick?
I can get on the over with Mano, actually.
Yeah.
I like the over.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Tennessee.
I agree.
Tennessee last week were getting decimated by Chandler Jones, right? So they really went away from what they do best, and that's play action football. I think they can get back to see, like Sam, like you said, there's no reason, there's nobody on Seattle that can cause as much disturbance as Chandler Jones did. So I think both teams are primed and ready to score here.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, Derrick Henry had 58 rushing yards last week.
Yeah, they got to get Derrick Henry going early.
He'll be fine. He'll be back.
Yeah, so excuse me while he drops 150 on your face. All right.
Yeah,
so
Derrick Henry fantasy owners, he'll put up, I'm saying, at least 20 points this week.
So that does it for our Sunday evening games. We're going to head to Sunday night. This game is arguably the best game, I guess, could have been. the best game of the weekend. We got Kansas City on the road at Baltimore. Kansas City -3.5 against a very banged up Baltimore Ravens team. Over under is still set at 55. 2 years are on there. What do you think?
What do you want, Sammy? You want it?
I'll defer to you.
Okay.
So
I will
kind.
take Patrick Mahomes within 4 points every single time. I don't care. I don't care they're on the road against the Ravens. The Ravens showed me that they're just shaky enough. And I think that they are going to definitely lose by 4 or more. I don't know what else to say. It's the Chiefs. Like, I feel stupid talking up the best team in the league and the best quarterback of all time. But, yeah, I just think this is a shoe-in here. I think the Ravens are going to falter. I'm pretty sure Lamar versus Mahomes they're 1-1 combined in the series.
I don't think Lamar's beat him. I mean, I remember
The
last
Ravens beat him.
maybe 2 years ago, but
I don't know. Regardless.
So we have the Chiefs in September,
Okay.
or Patrick Mahomes Chiefs in September. That is, they don't lose, and Mahomes just dominates.
Mm-hmm.
I remember last season, I think it was a Monday night game. It was Chiefs Ravens. All 3 of you guys were on the Chiefs. I was the lone guy on the Ravens, and the Chiefs kicked the shit out of them. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. Yeah. So the Ravens, they're banged up offensively. It's Lamar Jackson and a bunch of guys from the practice squad essentially. So the Chiefs just, yeah, exactly. There's nothing to say that hasn't already been said a million times.
I totally botched that, by the way. It's 0-3.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I know I'm pretty sure Lamar hasn't beaten Mahomes. So, and I could see it happening again. So don't overthink this. Chiefs -3.5.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I just put $10 on it. So on Chiefs,
There you go.
Attaboy.
Little
on
sprinkle.
Chiefs -3.5. Yeah, just a little sprinkle because I mean, come on, Mano, what are you thinking? Because you're quiet. You don't want to touch this game?
Not touching it. No.
Why?
Um,
Honestly, why?
The Ravens are banged up too. We totally forgot to mention that their defense.
Their
Yeah.
defense
No
is
Marcus
so
Peters.
shot. Their defense is so shot without
There's no
Marcus
Marcus Peters, and you're going to line up Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and tell them to run wild. Like, come on.
yeah. I like Kansas City -3.5. I just don't want it to. It feels a bit too low. You know what I mean? Like,
Which
I
is
feel
why
like I'm
you
getting
hammer
baited.
it every single
I
time.
feel like I'm getting baited. I'll be wrong, but I won't get baited. I won't lose money.
Fair enough. All right, in the last game, the Monday night game, nobody wants to touch the Monday night game. The Detroit Lions on the road in Lambeau with the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay -10.5 after an god-awful week 1 performance. Total set at 48. Why are none of the boys on this game? What do we?
All right, I'll jump
Can
in.
I set a line real quick?
Go for it.
line. Okay.
Over under 2.5 shitty Monday night football graphics where Dan Campbell is eating somebody's kneecaps.
Okay.
We're definitely
Fair
getting
enough.
one at least.
I feel like one's a
All right,
good.
0.5. Yeah, all right, 0.5. Are we getting one or are we getting none?
I think we'll get one.
We're gonna get one. We're gonna get one.
Over.
All right.
Stick. Where's the logic here? Because I need to
The
find
line
some
is
logic.
just too high. It's that half point over 10. It's freaking me out. I don't like it. I think the Packers are going to be back and the Lions are going to take a step back. Didn't they almost have a comeback last week? I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
they did.
they
They almost.
turned
They
a
almost.
32 point or 24 point deficit. Didn't they score 24 points in the last 2 minutes of the game?
Yeah, something
Yes.
like that.
They exhausted everything they had last week in the second half.
The hand motions. I think I know what you mean by giving me those hand motions.
They
Yes.
blew their load, if you will.
Thank you, Mano. Thanks
No
for
problem.
clarifying.
no, you
You
got
said it. You said it. Yeah, no, it's just that half point hook over 10 freaks me out. But I think the Packers are going to be back in a big way this week.
Oh
I have a
yeah,
strange feeling Rodgers is going to go for 450 and 5 touchdowns, but
yeah. I mean, I think
we'll see.
I think as Stick says, they're gonna explode.
Whatever that means.
I'm not touching 10.5. It's double digits, and last week was too scary for me. It's probably gonna be a live bet situation if it gets close, but if not, hands off. Sammy, nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to touch it. It's
All right, so then that wraps up this week's Week 2 NFL capsON Sports Podcast, brought to you by Nick, Stick, Sammy, and Mano. It's been a pleasure hosting you guys today. Thanks for having me.
Nick, you did a good job. I'll give you
Thanks.
Yeah, that was
Is it-
masterfully done.
I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm back here next week in this seat with this mic next to my face. I will absolutely be in the same spot, but hopefully I'm out here hosting again next week because I like talking to you guys.
All right, we got to go over this real quick. So what happens if we all go 4-0?
If we all go 4-0, we all
That's not
host the
possible. We have
podcast.
conflicting picks. Forget about it.
5-0.
If
Not
we all
this
go
close
5,
enough.
if we all go 5-0, we all host the podcast together.
Overlapping, same time.
Same
Yeah.
exact time. Same exact time. Everyone
Just
asks the same
chaos.
question. There it is. Absolute chaos. I plugged it in before and I'll plug it again. capsON Sports Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcast. Hit me in my DMs, hit Matt on his DMs, hit Sammy in his DMs, hit Stick in his DMs, bro. Let's come follow the capsON Sports Podcast. We're having a good time. Tough first week, but the first week's always the hardest. There's only one way to go from here. Straight in the air, baby.
It's a great
Until
point.
next time.